We actually introduced a new villain this season that's going to be bigger and badder than any other character you've seen in the Rick and Morty diverse thus far. And his name is World Ender.
He is a giant hulking beast of a monster. If you think like Thanos fucked Darkseid and like had a baby, and that baby then fucked some other giant creature monster, that's World Ender.
Oof, boy, I'm getting spooked about thinking about World Ender right now. I mean, look at all those freckles.
Whoa, Rick, is that the Vindibeacon? We're being called to assemble by the Vindicators.
The Vindicators are essentially a more badass version of the Avengers.
We have at least 7 different heroes.
We got Alan Rails, who can summon ghost trains. What else do you need to know? He's a ghost train summoner. Who else we got? We got Million Ants.
He is a collection of ants that are assembled together by one cosmic queen.
And there's Crocubot, half robot, half crocodile. You decide which came first.
Yeah, just a few more design notes.
Rick and Morty, superheroes? What the fuck? Your eyes are gonna fucking start bleeding when you watch this episode because of how good it is. We just fucking pooped it out like a fucking piece of shit that it is, you know? Anyways, enjoy it.
Hey everybody, new Rick and Morty dropping tomorrow. This is probably one of my favorite types of promos that they've done so far. They've done a couple of these. Within about 3 seconds, you can tell they're all doing a bit. If you think that Darkseid and Thanos had a baby, and then that baby had a baby with some other big giant monster, that's who World Ender is. So even though he does kind of look like he's out of some sort of anime, I do love the fact that they're referencing Justice League and Marvel stuff, which sort of confirms the inspiration for Alan Rails. A lot of you were like, maybe he's supposed to be a Green Lantern John Stewart analog. But instead of saying that he makes constructs like he has the green chain around his neck, they say he creates ghost trains. So I guess that's their way of avoiding getting sued. Marvel, Disney, Warner Brothers, they're very litigious, but I guess that also confirms that Crocubot is somewhere between Rocket Raccoon and Cyborg. Half robot, half crocodile. You decide which came first. And even though I still think that Million Ants is their version of Groot, there were a lot of you on that last video I did that were like, maybe he's poop. Maybe that's what he's made of. Like he'll say, I am poop instead of I am Groot. But they just did all those poop bits in the last episode, so that would be a little bit nuts if they had like a poop joke in every single episode. Then you know something would be going on behind the scenes. But in reality, I think part of the reason why they did this in this funny way, like try to hype up World Ender, like, oh, you think he's bad? Well, the baby of Thanos and Darkseid, is because Rick is probably going to kill him in the episode, and that'll be the end of it. Like they want to present this extreme challenge, and Rick is pissed off that Morty is so excited about the Vindicators that he's probably just going to mow through this villain like it's no big deal. So with the exception of Tammy Phoenix Person and say like Zeep Zanflorp, most of the antagonists Rick just mows through in every single episode, so you don't end up seeing them again, or they wind up just being referenced offhandedly in future episodes. So when you see a challenge that seems so insurmountable as World Ender, like it just sounds ridiculous, it sounds like Rick will have some hilarious solution for defeating him. Like look at how quickly he got himself out of that pickle situation. And if last week's episode was mostly about him trying to avoid having to sit through therapy, that makes me wonder what the big threat is in this episode, because it seems like more of a Morty episode, like he's the one that's super excited to go on this adventure. So maybe it's more about what's going on with him, besides peeing under the desk. That was great last week, peeing under the desk and huffing pottery glaze. But let me know, like, what are you guys most excited for in this episode? I'm really just excited to try and find all the Marvel and DC references. So Justin's Plumbus shirt there, which is actually pretty awesome. I don't think I have a Plumbus shirt. I have several Rick and Morty shirts, but not that one. They just released their VH1 behind the music for Rick and Morty, like its origins. So here's a little clip from that. It's actually really cool to listen to him talk about how it got started.
And this is before YouTube, so we kind of just would create content with no one to show it to.
And then our friend shows us this website. It's called channel11.com.
Anybody in the world that's listening to us right now is allowed to submit a 5-minute first episode of any kind of television show that they want.
Me and Justin and Siobhan were like so intrigued by it. So we just submitted something we made.
I don't have your cereal. Just leave me alone, please.
Where is the cereal? Is there enough for me to have a bowl of cereal?
The thing we looked forward to every month was that rush and hearing the audience react to something you made. It was like a high.
Justin's first of all came in kind of blowing everyone's mind with his sensibility, his charm, and his like proclivity for professional grade animation.
Hello there, I'm Poopy Butthole Pooerson. Oh, you can call me Dirty Wet Poopy, Poopy Sloppy Pooer Hole.
Justin figured out a way to make cartoons super fast within a month. Every day after work, going to Justin's apartment. Yeah, we were like this cartoon making factory.
Like Justin would always submit these cartoons that the panel would love, but the audience would hate, until he did House of Cosby's.
It's a House of Cosby's. I'm Dancing Cosby. I'm Curiosity Cosby. You see, I'm Cosby number 6. Bathtub Cosby.
House of Cosby's was the catalyst for Harmon and I to start collaborating on shit together. We both had a great deal of respect for each other and were fans of each other's shit that we were making.
So stop trying to make us all scared, like Pierce Brosnan in Dante's Peak.
That was a fucking incredible time. Like, we were all together, we were all making crazy shit, we were all admirers of each other's work.
At the time, none of us even realized that this would be anything. You know, we're all just a bunch of scrappy, like idiot kids making stuff that are just goofing around.
The point of Channel 101 was to not be perfect, was to just get shit done, get it out. It doesn't matter. It probably won't even get voted back. The most purest version of your art comes out that way.
The really cool thing about that is it's mostly like the first half of how all these Rick and Morty people came together separately. So you have Dan Harmon, Channel 101 stuff. Then you have Justin Roiland coming to Los Angeles and his friends sort of submitting stuff to that, which actually sounds like Mr. Poopy Butthole. So I think we just saw the secret origin of that character. They do reference that Channel 101 came before YouTube, and actually a lot of my internet friends that I worked with at YouTube before I started doing YouTube videos myself did a lot of Channel 101. I never got involved with it myself, but it's actually still a thing. Like, they still do stuff, but obviously it's changed a lot now just because the digital space is so different. And part of the reason for Channel 101 was because there wasn't a place like YouTube exists today for people to post that stuff. So what'll happen is they'll probably post part 2 of this in a little while, and they'll talk a little bit more specifically about the origins of Rick and Morty itself. This was just sort of their Avengers Assemble version of that, like how do all these different people find each other? So I'll say there's a new round of the Rick and Morty merch giveaway. I'll announce the winner when I post my episode 4 video. That'll be Monday just like normal. Obviously Game of Thrones is going to be posting tomorrow too. So all you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. While you wait for everything, you can click here for my episode 3 Easter eggs, and you can click here for the trailer for that next episode of Game of Thrones. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.